Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick update on my 700xx. I've been riding it for about half a season now, and I've got maybe 200 miles on it, a little over 200, and I think 7 or 8 hours. And I going by with a boat. I've got about I just changed the oil and did the first valve adjustment. They were pretty close, but not spot on. Everything is going pretty well. Got the new fender on, got the motor together. I ended up having to switch to a Power Commander 6 from my little piggyback tuner. This is so much better. I just could not get this machine idling, and once I started playing around with the air fuel at idle, it just cleaned it up so much better and starts up really well now. I do have it warmed up there. Give it some gas. So it's pretty mean. It doesn't have the spark arrestor right now. I keep having issues with them. It is going back in because this thing is just obnoxiously loud without it. I've also got an anti-gravity battery in there with restart on it. Saved some weight. My Tusk battery had some serious hours on it trying to get this motor turning over back when I was having issues. And honestly, the restart already came in handy. I left my key on when I was driving this 200 miles, or transporting it 200 miles, and battery was dead. Pressed the button, fuel pump fired right up, and I was able to start this thing no problem. Here's my little switch for the accessory lights. Those work pretty well. They're PowerMad brand. Um, for those of you wondering, inside the motor, I've got a CP 11-to-1 piston, oversized cable wide valves, a webcam. It's not, I don't think it's a 290. It's the second biggest one webcam makes. Obviously, I've got the EHS intake with the K&N under there, and I've got a Barker's full system exhaust, port and polish, obviously, running hermetic gaskets, that's a must, and some other bits and bobs. And this thing definitely isn't done yet. I am going to do Elka 3s all around. I might do Elka 4s in the front, just because I kind of want rebound adjustment now that I have it on another machine. I really like it. So, I don't know, I might. And then I'm going to go to, what's it, Full Flight? It's either Full Flight or Roll Design Long Travel A-Arms. That's probably going to be this winter. The other side of the machine here is looking good. Not too much to note right now. This thing, I have been doing some drag racing with it. It's about as fast as an XR650R, which is basically a dirt bike with a very similar motor stuck in it. I was racing a guy with it, had a bad launch, so he got out ahead of me because that thing was still not properly tuned. But even without a good tune, I was staying with him all the way up till 80 when we stopped the pole. But yeah, this thing's coming along pretty well. I'm also, this winter, going to be putting in an oversized radiator. I have one, but you really got to take a lot of things apart to do the oversized radiator. The OEM radiator can slide right in and out without really taking anything apart. But an oversized one, you got to take the tank off, you got to take the thermostat apart. Everything needs to come apart to get that oversized one in there. And the guy who did my top end, it was Oregon Coast Power Sports. He did a fantastic job. This thing is super well put together right now. And I just had him do the valves and the port and polish, and then deck the piston, or deck the cylinder. And he also vapor blasted everything, got it looking nice. I did have one major issue where my cam chain tensioner slider basically broke in half. I made a short about that a few months ago, and that almost blew up my engine, but it didn't. And it's been going strong ever since. So I have a new slider and a new tensioner in there, as well as a new cam chain. So it's going well. Clutch, brand new basket and center. We kept the same plates. They had plenty of life left on them. And yeah, everything's going pretty well down here. The reason it's back home right now instead of up in the cabin with the trails is I just broke the bumper mount off, as well as the bumper. It's over here. I don't really like this bumper. I'm going back to the OEM. It just did not hold up well. Took a hit right there and just collapsed, and then the mount broke off. I'm not a fan of it. And it's heavy. It's a good like 2 or 3 pounds versus just going back to a piece of plastic that I think is also just gonna fit the lines better. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Nothing too crazy going on. This thing, it also does, I did go up a sprocket tooth on the front. So this'll, I would say, could potentially go 100, maybe, well, at least 90. I was going 78, and I had just clicked into 5th. So it's a quick machine for a 4-wheeler. I'm running kind of cutters all the way around, not because I want to, but because I have to. I've had extensive issues with them. They're not great. IMS tank. Yeah, it's a ripper. I've also just been doing tons of little odds and ends. New wires here. I was having issues with these. New bolts. Lost a couple bolts over the years. Just wherever I can, just doing little things. I also did a homemade skid plate, which has not held up well at all. It took some serious hits and definitely broke. But I made it out of like 1/8" Lexan, just because I had some of that laying around from an old sign. And I was doing pretty good. But yeah, I'm trying to get people back into these things. These things are such fast machines, and sport quads in general. Once you're on a fire road, really, there's nothing that can keep up with them. I've got guys on X3s and Pro XPs and stuff that they'll beat me in a drag race for sure. But once it comes to the actual trails themselves, nothing really keeps up with a sport quad, including dirt bikes. I've ridden against KTM's, other Honda dirt bikes, everything. And once you're on those fire roads, there really just is nothing faster than a guy with a good set of balls and a well-built sport quad. So let's bring these things back, guys. These are such awesome machines. And if you have any questions about this, hit me up in the comments, and have a good one.